Throughout the 1970s in England, the most violent poltergeist haunting in European history took place. In the market town of Pontefract, a semi-detached house was plagued by a poltergeist activity that many find hard to believe. The house was lived in by the Pritchard family, who were said to be tormented by a poltergeist, dubbed the Black Monk, with rumours that the monk was killed in the 16th century around the location. The family nicknamed the ghost Fred. Incidents were recorded such as rooms fluctuating in temperature, objects being moved on their own, and unexplained puddles appearing on the floor throughout the house. But when things turned violent, paranormal investigators and journalists recorded the house as being one of the most violent hauntings known in European history. During the worst period of the poltergeist violence against the family, the young daughter of the family was dragged up the stairs by her neck. Police were called to the scene of the incident where the young girl was found to have handprints around her neck, and these prints didn't match any of her family in the house. The torment didn't end there, as a 12-year-old girl was strangled with electrical cable. The family were also awoken at night to a shadowy figure standing at the bottom of their bed. With unexplained figures still being caught on camera at the property, it is believed the Black Monk still remains at the house.
The Cidade Keable poltergeist. In 1965 Brazil, young Maria Jose Ferreira became a celebrity in her country, not because of her talents, but because she was routinely attacked and no one could explain what was causing the events. Stones were found near the girl, and on occasions, rocks as heavy as 9 pounds were said to have appeared out of nowhere. In desperation, her family pleaded with local priests to perform an exorcism, which led to more violent attacks such as furniture being thrown at the girl. She was often bitten and bruised over her body, and on one odd occasion, she had to have 55 needles removed from her ankle. Things got even weirder. While at school, her clothing spontaneously caught fire. In desperation, she committed suicide by poisoning herself at the age of 16, and all activity suddenly stopped.
Denner and Tom Simpson, residents of Pennsylvania, noticed something very unusual activity around their home. Both have experienced unexplained happenings and harassment from what they call demons. Fox News decided to pick up on the story and film the address where things took a rather strange turn of events. 2 minutes after the crew set up cameras and began filming, one of the crew members experienced a very intense burning on his hand. On looking at his hand, he noticed he had been scratched, and suddenly the burning stopped. Shadowy figures are regularly seen throughout the house when pictures are taken. In desperation, priests have attempted to exorcise the house, but this has only made things worse. With doors slamming and loud footsteps being heard, the couple say it's impossible to sell their home. This isn't the first time an attack has taken place. The residents claim they are regularly scratched and slapped. What's more unusual is it's very rare that camera crew actually experience any physical assault.
The Amherst Poltergeist. Esther Cox, who lived in Amherst, was a victim of vicious attacks, becoming one of the most terrifying poltergeist activities in Canadian history. These attacks were also witnessed by investigators and documented. It all began when the young girl Esther started to see shadowy figures in her daily life, which began to escalate into more horrific manifestations. One night, Esther was attacked by an unknown force, making her body swell. A doctor came to review Esther over the swelling for underlying medical reasons. While the doctor monitored Esther sleeping, he heard loud bangs under the bed and heard bed clothing thrown across the room. From here, the haunting became more destructive, with fires erupting around the house, knives being thrown around the rooms, loud bangs, and also footsteps. Poor Esther had it worst, where she was witness to being slapped across the face.
In Edinburgh is a small tomb dubbed Black Mausoleum. In Greyfriars Cemetery, unbelievably, since 1999 there have been 75 pages of eyewitness accounts, and 140 people witnessed people collapse near the tomb. Activity such as hot and cold spots, loud bangs, unexplained figures in pictures, and loud footsteps are not uncommon. While seemingly harmless, those who investigate the poltergeist activity have been known to be attacked, with recorded hair pulling, arm grabbing, and in some cases skin being burnt under clothing, with pictures for evidence. What's more is often dead animals are often found outside the tomb's entrance. After the tomb had an exorcism performed, shortly after a fire broke out in one of the houses near the Black Mausoleum, destroying photograph and evidence of ghostly activity. Investigators who looked into the source of the fire could not explain how it was started. Many have said the Black Mausoleum is protected by a demon, and many say that it's the best evidence of poltergeist activity in the world.